You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com. Bitcoin, Ether, Solana, Doge, and more. Cryptocurrencies and digital assets are taking the financial world by storm. This exploding market provides everything a savvy trader needs: volatility, volume, and liquidity, provided you know how to find it. That's where we come in. Welcome to the Crypto Rundown. Each week, we'll break down the latest trading activity, trends, and developments throughout the world's leading crypto derivatives markets. If it's moving the crypto markets, then you'll find it on the Crypto Rundown. The Crypto Rundown is brought to you by Amber Data. If you're entering the digital asset class, you'll need access to granular on-chain and market data from multiple venues to power research, trading, risk management, and compliance. Amber Data delivers comprehensive data and insights into blockchain networks, crypto markets, and decentralized finance, empowering financial institutions to apply traditional finance methods to digital assets. Amber Data eliminates the infrastructure setup, integration challenges, and maintenance headaches to access digital asset data, reducing cost and time to market to enter the digital asset class. Learn more and download their digital asset data guide at www.amberdata.io. Now it's time to dive into the exploding world of crypto derivatives. It's time for the Crypto Rundown.
All right, everybody, that music means we are back. It is Monday. It is time for the Crypto Rundown. My name, of course, Mark Longo, coming at you a little bit earlier, right after the Option Block. Listeners, I will be heading out to the Options Industry Conference later on today and throughout the rest of this week to catch up on the latest trends and developments in the world of options, so you don't have to go to these far-flung locales, listeners. We do it for you. If you want to check out that content early, make sure you're checking out theoptionsinsider.com/pro. So going to be kind of a Just the Facts, ma'am edition. If I sound a little bit low-key, listeners, it's because I just got some bad news at the end of the last show. A good friend of the network, Alex, the Viceroy Jacobson, stalwart on the Option Block, passed away this weekend. So a bit of a gut punch as we're rolling on into this Just the Facts, ma'am edition of the Bitcoin Breakdown.
It's time to explore the latest trending activity, trends, and developments across the world's leading crypto market. It's time for the Bitcoin Breakdown.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Bitcoin Breakdown. The portion of the show we break down all the action in the world's leading digital asset, listeners. And you know what? Bitcoin looking a little bit bigger than it was at the end of our show last week. Last week, 93,954, listeners. Coming in the start of the show this week, 94,359, up a whopping 405 handles. Remember, if you want to see all these analytics for yourselves, amberdata.io, the place to go to kick the tires and light the fires. A weekly vol continuing to come in. It was a 43 on the show last week, 39 right now. So these are definitely early to even midsummer vol numbers, listeners. That's getting pretty light. Same deal in the 30-day vol, 45.5 last show, 43.5 this week, and the 180-day vol, 51.5 last week, 50.5 this week. So vol coming down across the board, even where the hodlers are hanging out. Skew-wise, last week we were close to flat, positive 0.75. This week we are literally flat. I think it was 0.01 to the positive, so literally flat, listeners. The monthly skew, positive 1.85 last week, positive 2 this week, so not much evolution there. And on the hodler front, going out 6 months, positive 3.7 this week, positive 3.5 this week. As we keep on rolling, just the facts, ma'am, right on into the altcoin universe.
It's time to move beyond Bitcoin and find out what's moving the rest of the crypto marketplace. It's time to boldly venture into the altcoin universe.
All right, everybody, welcome to the altcoin universe, the portion of the show we break down all the action outside of the big dog, which is Bitcoin out there. We're going to dive right into ETH right now, listeners. ETH, 1768 on the show last week, 1814 this week, up a whopping 46 handles. But ETH, if you listen to our Futures Rundown show, you know it's the number one, is actually tied for 1 and 2 with the micro and the big future. They're the number 1 and number 2 losers for the year in terms of assets that we track on that show. So at that point, if you're an ETH bull, you'll take 50 handles. It's better than giving it up as you maybe slowly claw your way back to 2,000, maybe. Big question mark there. Vol-wise, vol continuing to come in across the board on the crypto front, listeners. We were on a weekly vol, 66.8 in ETH last week, 57 this week, coming in almost 10 points on the weekly vol front. 30-day vol, same deal, not quite as extreme. 66 on the show last week, 61 this week. And on the hodler front, the 180-day vol, 67.5 last week, 66.25 this week. Skew-wise, we're not seeing a heck of a lot of evolution. The weekly skew has swung slightly more bearish, and that's really about it. We were negative 0.5 on the show last week, negative 3 right now. So in the near term, maybe the options traders in ETH are kind of fading a rally to 2,000, but we'll see. On the 30-day front, the skew was literally flat last week, and coming in to start the show today, literally flat again. So the 30-day options in ETH are pricing in literally no bias in either direction. And those are definitely some of the more liquid options out there. So right now, at least the options market is telling us a big shrug of the shoulders in terms of where things ETH is going. Going out a little bit farther, you know, the hodlers are going to bid up a little bit of juice to the upside. It was positive 375 on the show last week, positive 4.75. So actually ticking up a little bit on the long term. Are you buying more long term upside in ETH, or are you kind of just washing your hands of ETH and are you done? Hit us up, let us know. We're going to run through some of the rest of the altcoin universe, and we have to get out of here. I have to hop on a plane, listeners. And quite simply, I'm just not up to it after hearing that news, listeners. So Solana, 146.69 on the show last week, 145.61. So giving up a little over $1, about $1.08 since our last show. XRP, 227 last week. You know it can't hold a high. Back to 215, down about 12 cents on the week. Dogecoin, 17.6 cents last week, 17 cents even this week, so down 0.6 of a penny. There you go, listeners. Litecoin, 85 on the show last week, 86.80, one of the few that's bucking the trend in the altcoin universe to the upside, up nearly $2, about $1.80 from last week. Cardano, 69 cents last week, 66 cents this week, down a little over 3 cents on the week. Polkadot, same deal, 419 last week, 394 this week, down 25 cents. And everybody's favorite, Shiba Inu. Actually, I take it back. Another one that's bucking the trend. 1,000,000 zeros, 1268 last week. This week, 1,000,000 zeros, 1355. So those lug nuts that came off the Lambos, they're back on this week. All right, that's going to do it for this Just the Facts, ma'am, edition of the Crypto Rundown. Like I said, I will be heading out to a plane shortly after this to bring you all the latest and greatest from the world of options. So if you're mostly in the crypto realm, you don't really know what's going on in the world of options, this is your chance to learn. So check out all the content that's going to be hitting the network. If you want to get it early, head on over to the Pro, theoptionsinsider.com/pro. Going to be an embarrassment of riches on the Pro this week on the content side. That is going to do it for us on the Crypto Rundown again this week. Once again, our thoughts and wishes to the family of our good friend Alex, the Viceroy Jacobson. He will be missed. He was one of the good ones in this business, listeners. Back again throughout the rest of the week with our usual array of content. You will have on-demand versions of Options Bootcamp coming at you this week. Thursday, you will get live shows. I will be joined by the Flow Master on the Option Block, live from the Options Industry Conference. Will be interesting to get his thoughts on the Viceroy. I know he was a big fan as well. So a lot to talk about. We'll see you then, and we'll see you back here in the studio next Monday, another episode of the Crypto Rundown. Stay safe out there, everybody.
The Crypto Rundown is brought to you by Amber Data. If you're entering the digital asset class, you'll need access to granular on-chain and market data from multiple venues to power research, trading, risk management, and compliance. Amber Data delivers comprehensive data and insights into blockchain networks, crypto markets, and decentralized finance, empowering financial institutions to apply traditional finance methods to digital assets. Amber Data eliminates the infrastructure setup, integration challenges, and maintenance headaches to access digital asset data, reducing cost and time to market to enter the digital asset class. Learn more and download their digital asset data guide at www.amberdata.io. You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network, the home of the Options Podcast. For more quality options programs, visit theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app available in the iTunes and Google Play stores. Select programs are also available via live stream at mixlr.com/options-insider. That's mixlr.com/options-insider. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, stocktwits.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions at theoptionsinsider.com.